Okay, so it seems like the Eagles are on the verge of signing former All-Pro linebacker Shaq Leonard, as since the Birds' starting linebacker Zach Cunningham went down with an injury, all signs are pointing to Howie Roseman signing the former Colt star. Meanwhile, the Birds are preparing to face San Francisco this week, and just ahead of the matchup, edge rusher Haason Reddick called out the Niners for crying about their NFC Championship loss all offseason, and Deebo Samuel responded to his comments. Plus, Jason Kelce had some comments about one particular Bills player after the Birds' OT win, as he ripped into Jordan Phillips for playing dirty and trying to injure players. And Kelce also debunked the notion that the Eagles are just winning because they're lucky, as he explained what makes this team truly great. So we're going to talk about all that and more news in this video today, so let's not waste any time and get straight into it. Now, to kick this off, I want to congratulate Eagles legend DeSean Jackson on his retirement, as after 15 years, he has now finally decided to call it quits, and he did so as a member of the Eagles, with the Birds releasing a statement today thanking and congratulating D-Jax, who upon his retirement said, quote, "I'll forever be an Eagle." So huge thumbs up for DeSean Jackson retiring after obviously having an amazing career and him serving as an honorary captain this weekend for the 49ers game. Now, just like we saw D-Jax do at times, we saw Jalen Hurts play the part of the hero last week in the Birds' OT win over the Bills, capping off his clutch performance with a game-winning walk-off touchdown, and just the day after the game, he was seen courtside during the Sixers' dominant win over the Lakers, soaking in some of the love from the city and the fans. One of them being Sixers head coach Nick Nurse, who actually left the bench during a stoppage to grab a pic with Jalen, who funny enough had the same stone-faced look that he's become notorious for. But this is honestly really cool. I mean, when you got the head coach of an NBA team leaving the bench in the middle of a game to come take a picture with you, that's how you know you're a legend. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that Jalen is the man in Philly right now, and with each passing week, that only becomes more true. And stuff like this only adds to it, as the Eagles released this clip of Brandon Graham trash-talking the Bills during overtime, as he told them they were going to lose the game because, quote, "they don't know Jalen Hurts."
We about to win it. You must don't know Jalen Hurts like I know Jalen. Yeah. You must don't know Jalen Hurts like I know him. They don't know Jalen Hurts like we know Jalen Hurts. They don't know him. Come on, Jalen. You got us down here to tie it up. This time, let's go win the game. Come on, Jalen. Put it together, baby. Let them talk about you. Hey, it's a run. Jalen. Yeah! What I tell you? What I tell you? Let him know! Let him know!
Dude, just look at Jalen's face during this clip. I mean, if that's not the face of a stone-cold killer, I don't know what is. And this clip also really shows you just the amount of confidence and belief that this entire team has in Jalen to come through when it matters the most, and just in general. I mean, it really is special when you think about it. And now, honestly, the only thing Jalen has to do to solidify himself as a Philly legend is bring home a Super Bowl trophy. I mean, this team and this city are starving for another championship, and that includes famous Eagles fan Bradley Cooper.
Big question, and I really want you to answer this in a serious manner.
Okay.
Sophie's Choice for 2024. You win the Oscar, not only for Best Director, but Best Actor, and Carey Mulligan wins Best Actress. Or the Eagles have a Super Bowl victory. What
Eagles
do you
Super
choose?
Bowl victory.
What?
Wow.
What?
Eagles. I know.
You're lying
I'm
now,
sick.
aren't you?
I mean, he said that with absolutely no hesitation. That is a true Eagles fan right there, and I completely get it, man. There's nothing I want more than another parade down Broad Street, and I really do believe that this team led by Jalen Hurts has a very good chance to deliver on that. I mean, if you watch them all year, despite them not always playing their best, and there still being some kinks they have to work out, this team just finds ways to win. As Jalen Hurts always says, keep the main thing, and the main thing obviously is winning, and the Eagles have done a whole lot of that this year, even without playing their best football yet. And I honestly think that's a big reason why this team is so special. I mean, there's certainly been times when it's felt like things just aren't going their way and they're playing poorly, but they still, despite all that, find ways to win games. They're just a bunch of winners at the end of the day. But of course, they can still never get any credit because people just want to see the Eagles fail. I mean, if you go back to last year, everyone tried to discredit the Eagles' amazing season that they had by saying that they had a cupcake schedule and they didn't actually ever beat a real team. Now this year, they're 10-1 while having the hardest schedule in the league, and everyone just says they're getting lucky, which is literally the biggest excuse I've ever heard, by the way. I mean, lucky is a word that people use when they're upset or emotional, because these people just hate the Eagles and they'll say whatever to try and discredit them. There's no actual factual evidence behind that statement, but still, that's the narrative people are running with, and Jason Kelce responded to that notion in a recent appearance on WIP radio.
I think fans and I think people watching the game tend to look at specific plays as though those plays or those calls made the outcome. You know, there are multiple times throughout the game for all of these teams that we've won to close these games out. And part of that is them not getting it done or our defense doing a good job, however you want to look at that.
That's
but
right, yep.
we've capitalized. Luck is, fortuitous luck, whatever you want to call it, is preparation meeting opportunity, right? Like, we're a really good team. Now, we haven't played our best football, so these games have been tight, and we played bad at times. But great teams find a way to win and find a way to close out games.
So he said it there. 1, luck is when preparation meets opportunity, so the Eagles aren't just out there stumbling into wins like some of these fans are acting like, but 2, again, like he said, great teams find a way to win and find a way to close out games, and that's exactly what the Eagles have been doing, so thumbs up for Kelce debunking these ridiculous comments, even though we know that that's still the narrative that these haters are going to continue to roll with. But whatever, again, as Kelce once said... Now, right now, I do want to stick with Kelce and his appearance on WIP because he also had some very interesting comments on Bills player Jordan Phillips, as he absolutely ripped the defensive tackle when talking about some of his dirty actions during the game. Now, we're going to get to that in a lot more in just a minute, but real quick, I do want to say, if you are enjoying this video or finding it informative in any way, and you're part of the 75% of people that haven't done so already, make sure you go down right now, subscribe, and really importantly, turn on notifications so you don't miss when any of these videos covering the Eagles are uploaded. I think that's a win-win for the both of us. I mean, I get more people watching the videos and you don't miss any other Eagles coverage just like this. And also, while you're at it, drop a like on the video. I'd greatly appreciate it. And now with that being said, let's get back into the video. Now, Jordan Phillips had made headlines after the game between the Eagles and Bills because of an altercation that he had gotten into with an Eagles fan, which, by the way, he had said it was because the fan threatened his family, but multiple fans that were sitting in that area, including a guy sitting just 2 seats away from him, came out and said that that wasn't true.
He didn't say nothing. He laughed at him after Jalen scored the first touchdown. He called him soft. He told him we were going to do it all game. And I know that because I was 2 people to the right of him on those bleachers. It was extremely unprofessional, pretty soft, and that statement you released today, Jordan Phillips, was a lie. Can't believe you carried yourself that way.
So he apparently just made a fool out of himself on the sideline and lied about it, but to add on to that, Phillips was clearly playing dirty throughout the game as he was hitting players late constantly. He targeted Jalen's head at one point, at another he dove for Landon Dickerson's kneecaps, and the worst play of all was what he did on that brotherly shove play where he bulldozed Cam Jurgens before the ball was even snapped. So Jason Kelce absolutely ripped Phillips for what he did on that play.
I thought it was bullshit at the time, I really did, and I said so to the official on the field. I said, listen, I've been running that play a lot of years. I have seen people jump off sides. He made 0 effort to stop after he jumped off sides.
Absolutely.
He purposely tried to hurt Cam Jurgens.
He did.
I thought it should have been a personal foul, and I think he should be fined for that play. Now, I'm not going to comment on the rest of the game. There were things happening with the fans. I don't know what happened that got him that fired up, but I thought that play in particular was absolutely a disgrace that the NFL should not allow. I really do. And I don't know Jordan Phillips. He might be the best guy in the world. But that, in my opinion, the NFL needs to do something about, because that shouldn't be allowed in this game.
Kelce really went in on Phillips here, and it was completely warranted. I mean, he's right. The NFL can't allow that. What Phillips did all game on Sunday was an absolute disgrace, and something needs to be done because he could have actually hurt somebody. And it just added something unnecessary that the Eagles had to deal with during the game. And one of the other things that they had to deal with was the team's best linebacker in Zach Cunningham going down with a hamstring injury, and that injury, which is now being called a hamstring strain, is reportedly expected to keep him out this week and possibly longer, which is definitely not good. So the Eagles need somebody to fill the void left by Cunningham, and that could come from somebody who's already on the roster, or that could come from somebody that the Eagles decide to bring in. And of course, I'm talking about Shaq Leonard, the former All-Pro who was recently released from the Colts. Now, as of right now, during this recording, Shaq Leonard has not signed anywhere, but also during this recording, he's currently visiting with the Eagles. And after visiting with Dallas yesterday and leaving without a contract before coming to Philly today, I think it's safe to say it's going to come down to those 2 teams. So what could be the deciding factor for Leonard? Well, Adam Schefter outlined on 97.5 The Fanatic that his decision probably won't have to do with money. Instead, it's going to be more about what team feels more comfortable with him and where he feels most comfortable. Now, to me, that makes it sound like he's coming to Philly. I mean, he obviously has a level of comfortability with Nick Sirianni as the 2 were together in Indy, and today Nick actually shared that they were able to catch up during Leonard's meeting.
You know, I was close with him when we were in Indy. It was good to just be able to catch up with him and relive some memories, but also just talk about a little bit about what this building's like. I think the pitch is just the guys that we have in this building, and you know, some of them he has a prior relationship to, but you know, I think just I want Shaq to make the decision what's best for him. So because again, when there's that prior relationship, you want to make sure that, and that's what I said to him, I just want you to make the best decision for you. take all the information from both places and do what's best for you. And so, you know, I've called him a bunch the last couple days, and shoot, he'll make the decision that's best for him. I'm confident in that. He's a good person.
I honestly think that the relationship that Sirianni and Leonard have could be the deciding factor in Leonard deciding to sign with Philly. Now again, maybe this has already happened, and if it did, then I'm extremely happy about it because we need to fill that void left by Cunningham, and I do think Leonard can still definitely play. He just has to stay healthy, but if not, I'd have to imagine it happens soon just based on all the evidence. Now if Leonard does decide to sign with Philly, or if he already has at this point, I'm interested to see if he'll be ready to go for Sunday's huge matchup with the 49ers. That's a game that's been circled on the calendars of Eagles and 49ers fans ever since the schedule came out back in May, because this rematch of the NFC Championship game is personal for these two teams. I mean, during the game, tempers flared. We saw some scuffles, and of course, after the game and throughout the entire offseason, it seemed like the 49ers just couldn't stop crying about the loss. I mean, Deebo Samuel in particular was a huge culprit of this, doing things like calling James Bradberry trash after his All-Pro season and saying that there was no question that the 49ers were the better team than the Eagles, and the only reason they lost is because they were playing with 10 people, and he also called the Eagles his most hated team, and Samuel's comments that seemed to just keep coming throughout the entire offseason were just a part of what was an entire offseason of whining and crying for the 49ers. And there's no doubt that the Eagles players heard all of this, as back when the schedule was released, Eagles edge rusher Haason Reddick, who of course was the one who inadvertently injured Brock Purdy on his game-changing strip sack during the NFC Championship game, said that out of all the games on the Eagles schedule, December 3rd against the 49ers was one he was looking forward to in particular, as he said, quote, "That San Fran game, man, a lot of chirping, a lot of back and forth over social media about would've, could've, and should've happened. I'm looking forward to that one. No game more than that." And now that it's actually the week of the game, it seems nothing has changed for Haason Reddick, as he recently said this.
Talk is cheap. You know, they get to come back in the link. There was a lot of boo-hoos last year, a lot of crying, a lot of what if, a lot of this, a lot of that. They get a chance to come back in here, line that up and prove it again.
So you gotta love the energy from Reddick, man. I mean, this team was crying all offseason, and now they finally get a chance to come back and get some level of revenge. Now, Deebo Samuel was asked about Reddick's comments, and this is how he responded.
"Hey man, we'll catch you on Sunday."
You know what? I can actually respect that response from Deebo. Then again, he also doubled down, saying that he didn't regret calling James Bradberry trash or any of his other comments throughout the offseason, so hey, it is what it is. The 49ers are coming to town this Sunday, and all I'll say is they better not be dumb enough to try and block Reddick with the backup tight end again. Now, leading into that matchup, and of course after the game, we're going to have plenty more videos and coverage, so if you don't want to miss any of that, again, make sure you go subscribe and turn on notifications, and also drop a like on this video if you did enjoy it and want to show some support, and leave a comment down below just regarding anything that I talked about in this video. And if you want to watch another video recapping the Eagles' thrilling overtime win versus the Bills, you can go check this out right here. Now, with all that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys, so thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.